Right. Let's get this show on the road. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good
I
afternoon,
can't
good
believe I've just done
evening,
that.
good night. Bradford City have lost typically 2-1. Dominated
It was me.
first half and second half. So now I'm going to cross over to lovely Diane. If you can hear me, I'm currently driving. What's your thoughts on the game?
That. We played well in first half. Oh, we played well, but then all of a sudden we lost with their second goal. It's like I'm just walking down Manningham Lane.
I'm trying to multitask in a safe manner.
Yeah, it's alright. I've just walked into a post anyway, so it's alright. Don't laugh.
How's the post? Is it still standing or is it alright?
It's standing.
You didn't go down like a player, did you, and dive and roll and like...
No.
So Diane, start off with what's your thoughts altogether on the game, first half and second half?
First half we were okay, but we just had the jittery in the first minute when they scored, obviously. And then they started to get better, I think, and then we equalised. And second half, I don't know. What would you say about second half, Joe? Sorry, because I'm walking down with something to show them. Rubbish.
Oh yeah, rubbish. First half, I thought conceding after 60 seconds.
Yep.
It didn't last long, did it? Typically, City didn't last long in the first 60 seconds. Blew it away in 60 seconds.
Yep.
You could say gone in 60 seconds.
Definitely.
And then I know Tyler Smith got a goal, so proper buzzing about that. His first league goal.
Yep.
And then first half, I thought we were a bit naff, but then second half it seems like Alexander kicked up their ass and got them going. We dominated, I think, the second half proper well.
We did. Yeah, they were just... Yeah, we did, because at least Alexander was out of his seat all the time.
Yeah.
What I could see.
And if you want to put a request in, is it Lancaster Bantam? If you want to put a request in, and if you want to speak about the game or anything, put a request in, and hopefully Diane will accept you.
Well, let me see.
I've made her co-host because I'm currently trying to drive in a safe manner back home, trying to multitask. So with the game, I don't know. Who do you think? I know Bobby Poynton got man of the match, but who would have you given to the man of the match?
Me, I thought Brad Holiday played good. And Rich Anno going to get booed. Richie Smallwood as well, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we did well, but it's like same old City in it really. New manager comes in.
Yeah.
New manager comes in. We try. Yeah, you hope someone's getting a bit horny.
I know. Taxi.
So altogether, I think we did well. It's just we didn't finish, and we outplayed them, but we just didn't have the finishing skills.
Yeah,
so
it's like when
frustrating, really.
Yeah, when Osadebe skied it over the crossbar.
But I'm going to say, I think we were just unlucky getting injuries.
I know. I don't know what they were doing. Okay.
So who came off first? Yeah, he came off second, didn't he?
Bradley came off first.
Who came off first?
Bradley. Rido.
Yeah, he came off first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rido came off first. Okie then replaced him, then got injured. But after the injury, I don't know what formation he probably went to. I don't know, 3-5-2 or something. I don't know if that's right. Man, it's borrow abacus on this.
Oh, my abacus.
Yeah, I need to borrow abacus, do a bit of maths.
Yeah. You mean like me last night?
Yep. 2 seconds, just pulled over. Invite to co-host. So, have you got any thoughts on the game, Stan? If he's accepted it?
It's got a question.
Is it going through? Yep, he's speaking. Have you got any thoughts on the game, Stan?
Yeah. My thoughts. Well, nothing's changed much, really, has it? we're giving cheap goals away in defence. We're knocking on the door, but yes, one or two good performances. I mean, not bad overall, but it's disappointing that basically one of the two, few forays into our sort of penalty area in the second half and the score from it, and obviously the score so early as well, we've not switched on. So I don't think much has changed really in terms of defence. In terms of tactics, yeah, I mean, bit of a nothing game really. What's anyone else's thoughts?
I think the tactics were spot on. 4-2-2-2 to whatever he played, and then 4-2 or 4-4-2. He played well. It's just we couldn't finish. We just couldn't seem to finish today, and it's coming back as bite as on their ass.
Yeah. I mean, but defensively, we just concentration levels are poor. We not picking up runners. I mean, that second goal was like there were from their sort of free kick and what looked like a foul on us at Derby. There were still 2 or 3 phases of play that we kind of didn't deal with. So we're not dealing with defence. I mean, in terms of like team selection, he's only had like a couple of training sessions, so you can't really kind of be too critical of knowing what the team. It would obviously be you'd have spoken probably to Kevin and to Mark Truman.
It's all right. Can I just interrupt? There's some little shitty Barrow fans on the coach, banging window.
Oh, they're doing the 2-1 thing. It's like a news report, so we head straight over to Diane live from the ground. What's happening, Diane?
What's happening? Barrow coaches.
What's happening, Diane, love?
Barrow coaches.
Yeah, what's happening? Are they just giving 2-1ers?
Yeah, they've been banging windows. Little shites. You know what they're like.
Little shites. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
well, there's about another 2 more to come.
There were times that obviously fans would with just in terms of like sort of with regards to we don't move the ball quick enough, and we don't run at plays in general. So formation doesn't really matter in this respect. It's like at a certain point you've got to get balls in and Cookie's looking miles off the pace for me.
So if anybody else has got anything they want to say, put a request in, and hopefully Diane will accept you. So I'm trying to multitask in a manner.
Asking, but I'm walking, so I'm locking the post again.
Watch out, them lampposts, they come out of nowhere.
I know they do. But it was funny.
Stan, who would you say your man of the match was?
I would say Jamie Walker, probably. Like the look of him. I mean, to be honest, I like the look of him anyway, but in that sort of deeper role, he did really well. I thought Bobby was up there as well. There were moments from players, but I mean, you can't get more unlucky, can you, as a new manager, where you basically concede a goal after fewer than 30 seconds, then you get your 2 left backs go off on it. Well, the right back's on the left back, you're moving Gilly about, and then so it's kind of like a tough gig really today for Alexander. But I think definitely James Walker and Bobby for me.
Because I thought enough new people are joining all the time, so in the first half, like obviously we conceded in 30 seconds or whatever it was. That's very unlucky. It's like gone in 60 seconds. But we didn't hide. We came and we came out of our shells again, and we fought and we dominated, and we ended up getting a goal in the first half, so that was good. Second half, I think we're just unlucky. But what is up with Bossy Debbie? he like I've said it in past, he's like got plastic back legs. He just seems to be scared of shooting or getting it in there. He just seems like to go back or.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could label that any sort of player. I mean, there's nobody. Don't matter what anyone would say. There's nobody like has to think that, you know, like Mark Hughes was telling them not to shoot, because they do that whoever's there, and it's like just it's about at this level. It's about decision making and poor decision making, because like, you know, sort of like that second half chance that Paddy had to shoot. It's basically, you know, the sea was parted for him. Like, he had a clear shot at goal and decided to, you know, put it out wide. It's, you know, and then obviously in that sort of that last phase, you know, towards the end where the ball comes out to him, he sort of, I thought his body shape for the actual shot was okay, but he just, you know, blasted it over the bar. Might have been better just placing it, but again, it's down to sort of decision making, and players at that level make, or different levels, making better decisions. And we're talking about little micro decisions, you know, sort of. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think I think it boils down to the fact that, and the mate said it, for me, summed it up, is like, for all the sort of talk of what's going on at the club and Hughes and Sparks and Rupp and stuff, the players have got off scot lightly, really, because, you know, sort of the players themselves have basically, you know, we've kind of, nobody's kind of said, well, the players need to have a look at themselves as well. You know, there was none of that talk when Hughes was gone, as that cliched players saying, oh, you know, yeah, we've let the manager down, etc. There's none of that talk. There's none of that sort of drive about the players. So yeah. I mean, to be fair, we played okay today, so it's not complaining in that respect. But it's kind of like, and I would hope that Alexander has a kind of better look at the players, because I thought maybe he didn't want to risk Chapman too soon, but I'd have put Chapman on instead of Paddy, perhaps.
Have you got any thoughts on that, Matt, or any of the game? Are you there, Matt?
Sorry, I was on mute then, wasn't I?
All right. What have you got to say, mate, about the result and just general?
So I don't know where other people sit in the ground. Yesterday I mentioned where I sit. So I sit 2 rows behind the dugout, bang on the halfway line. So I'm very privileged that I get to see a lot of what kind of the managers are talking about when they're talking to players and that kind of stuff. And I agree with this idea that, you know, the squad themselves have got off a little bit lightly because of, you know, their abilities and capabilities and things like that. And it's worth kind of just mentioning, throughout the first half, Graham Alexander was absolutely screaming and shouting at Halliday to get further up the pitch, and asking Bobby Poynton to push higher and press higher on, you know, against their back three and against their wing back. And time after time after time, Halliday just looked like, I don't know what I'm doing. Does that make sense? So we also have to be very careful that, you know, that's a game where Alexander's come in less than 48 hours. He's trying to instill his own things. We played 4-4-2, which against, you know, 3 of their guys in the middle probably pulled us apart a little bit till we were getting used to it. But it was really good to see that there are certain things and the certain ways that he wants us to play that's going to be very different and very more attack-minded than what we've been used to previously. And the other thing I want to say, and again, I'm probably going to get hammered for this by a selection of fans, but yesterday when I came on the space, I talked about this idea that the fans have to kind of take some of the blame and that toxicity. Very early in the first half, when it wasn't going our way, the fans, there was a murmur across the fans where they were almost on the edge of wanting to boo.
Oh. I think Matt might be having a bit of a communication error. So on about your booing, Matt. I sit in the. I'm like you. You still there, Matt? Hello?
Yep, yeah, I'm still here.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
I'm still here. I'm in a bit of a dead zone at the minute. I'm still here.
So I on about your point there where you sit. I sit like in the 1911/West Yorkshire pavement bit there, and I think it was just coming from the northwest corner, and they're on about. It was a very small murmur of sack the border. But it sounded about 3 people saying it. So I don't know what people
really
want to make of that. So if you want to go back to your point, sorry.
Again. Yeah, so I just think it's a little bit baffling, really. We've sacked Hughes, which the fans wanted. We've brought in a manager. In his first 45 minutes, he's trying to play a different way. And let's have it right. A large percentage of our fans have screamed and shouted for us to play 4-4-2 since, God knows how long. The guys come in, set us up to play 4-4-2. There's always going to be creaks and there's going to be kind of moments where, our players are a little bit out of it because, it's new information, all that kind of stuff. And because we're not winning within, we're losing, and that'll get unpicked, I just think the fans just need to calm down. That's not going to do anything for anybody moaning, it's his first game. That's effectively like his first pre-season friendly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like he's now got the rest of the week.
That's like with that, it's like so with the team he started, like Rydal's gone off injured. I can't pronounce his name, but I call him Okie. I know he's gone off injured.
Yeah, I do.
As well,
with an injury. Yeah, he went off injured. Yeah.
So it's obviously we might be 2 less players short in a week's time. Because we're originally going to play Barnsley Tuesday, but that's been moved to the 21st due to Barnsley being in the FA Cup. So I don't know if we've asked already, but who did you say your man of the match was, Matt?
Oh, I didn't. If I'm, I think I'm not in a disagreement with Pointon getting it in flashes, but I think he probably got it because he's from Bradford. If I'm honest, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought Ash Taylor played really well. I'm not his biggest fan, but he did what he had to do. I wouldn't be against not having a man of the match if I'm honest.
Yeah. So going forward, this is to anybody. Do you think he'll stick with the 4-4-2, or do you reckon he'll go or just change it about again?
Well, for me, I think historically he's always set up with for the majority of his career with a 4-4-2, but actually it's not always out and out wingers. Sometimes those wingers press in to be like 2 number 10s, so it's almost like a 4-2-2-2, and the fullbacks are asked to push on really high.
So has anyone else got anything to say, Stan or Diane?
I'll just come back to what is it Matt was saying, and I think it's very astute. Obviously, being where he was sat with in terms of Brad, I think Brad did look like he was trying to sort of get to grips with a slightly different formation, different setup. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, as far as like what formations he will play, I think it'll be generally horses for courses with regards to maybe the opposition or how the team's shaping up or speculative training. But it's probably, obviously, going back to the other points as well. It's like I agree. We do need, the fans do need to calm down. It's kind of just reiterating in terms of like the kind of the atmosphere and almost like putting the club behind the black ball in terms of the fans dictating the policy of the club. There should be an element of basically, this is the plan that we have, and we've got to, for most part, stick to it. And okay, there might be slight things that you may need to deviate from, but so I think, yeah, definitely. You know, I'm underwhelmed by the appointment, but I'm more than prepared to, you know, see where it goes. And ultimately, if you're a proper fan, you want him to succeed, and I obviously do. So I think, yeah, it's definitely. But for me, Jamie, probably the best player today. Like they played in that deeper role was interesting. Seeing him there. Again, just kind of going back on the point that he's only been in the building a few days. So basically, you know, kind of, just for me, I'd have put Chapman on instead of Paddy, but other than that, yeah, you can't really sort of say much. He's got to have a few weeks to basically see who he can trust, who he can't trust, where he thinks players will fit into the type of football he wants to play.
Yeah, and I second that. I agree with that. And just again on the managerial kind of tactics, for want of a better word, all of last season and the season before, and under Derek Adams as well, I very rarely saw them actually giving instructions to players, if that makes sense, or trying to change stuff. Hughes did a lot of kind of bluster when things didn't go well on the pitch, but without actually giving any real instruction. Whereas all through the game, Alexander kept turning to Chris Lucchetti and kind of pointing out stuff that he's seen. You know, there were times where he kept saying to Ash Taylor, when he received the ball from Stubbs before he'd play it out wide to Halliday, like, step into the space, and then asking Halliday to put higher up. He obviously, you know, he was kind of on the front foot, and it was very evident that when players were maybe doing the stuff of old or stuff that they've been used to under Hughes or whatever, that he's identified that very quickly. And I think at half-time, there'll have been some harsh words to some players, and I think through the week, he'll be reinforcing exactly what he wants on that.
So we have actually got a Barrow fan here. Lewis, if you want to speak or anything or put a request in, so we can get get your perspective from the Barrows fans, say how they do at the game. We've had Crypto Bantam. It's absolutely shocking. 4-4-2 is no reconsidered wingers. Furthermore, that we stood in the northwest corner. The fans started fighting each other. It was like watching Derek Adams football. Lewis has actually put underneath a little meme. To sum it up, there's no need to be upset with a picture. I think of Peter Wilder in the middle. So if anyone, we've got a speaker. Sorry, is that Michael? Michael, are you there? Michael?
Yes, I'm here.
Yep. So what's your thoughts on the game, bud?
Well, I actually only half watched it because I was on iFollow. I'm in America and I was working. Oh. So I haven't saw it as good as I should have done. But in general, obviously, we've took 3 points off you again. And your manager must hate Barrow with a passion because we got him sacked from Salford. We got him sacked 3 or 4 weeks ago. And his first game, we've just beat him again.
So as a Barrow fan, I know you said you missed the first half, a bit the second half. How did it look from your perspective on the iFollow?
Well, you guys played better than I thought you would. You were pushing the ball around fairly well. You give us quite a lot of pressure. But we've got, I think, the best or the second best defence in the league at the moment. And we're still evolving and we're still getting there. So we contained you fairly well, even though the stats will show you had the vast majority of the game.
And after that performance from you guys, do you think you're going to go up this season as a Barrow fan, or do you think you're going to get into playoffs?
Well, I'm trying to keep my feet on the ground, but it's pretty high when I'm flying at 10,000 feet at the moment.
Oh, nice.
We're still a work in progress. We've still got players who are coming back into it all. We've got now a squad, as opposed to previously really only had a starting 11 with 3 or 4 decent subs. We've now got 22, 23 quality players. And I love what Pete's doing. He rotates things quite nicely. So everybody's up to speed. Everybody can just slot in. And when the heavy pitches come in and the suspensions start, I think we're in a good place. And I'm pretty certain we're going to finish in the top 8. But obviously I'm praying for us to get in the playoffs.
And so, watching the second half, who would you say your Barrow's man of the match was?
Well, again, I was working heavily. I do Christmas lights, and it's really busy, so I only kept half looking at it. And now I'm driving now to be a coach for my soccer team over here in Texas, so I can't really answer that. Sorry.
Okay. Is anything else you want to add? Anything, Michael?
Yeah, just that you lot must not like Barrow because we beat you every time we play you.
It's like is it Whitfield?
Ben Whitfield.
Who plays for you?
Yeah, Ben.
Yeah, my dad like knows his dad, so I keep persuading him to see if he'd come and join us at Bradford City, but I think he keeps turning us down.
Yeah. In Smith, who scored for you today, he was at Barrow on loan from Sheffield United, I think. He's a good player.
Yeah, Smith, I think he's still young, isn't he, Smith? He just needs goals, and he's scored today, so hopefully it boosts his confidence. But I know you don't watch Bradford play, but watching Bradford play, it's like personally I've been crying out for 4-4-2.
Right.
And I know we got a bit of that today. And watching it live from the stadium, I know we dominated and stuff, but we just couldn't finish.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're similar ourselves. We're creating lots of chances. Not so many today, but generally we're creating chances. But our conversion rate's quite low. I think we're the 5th lowest scorers in the league, yet we're sat in 6th place. So if we can solve that problem and remain tight at the back and in the middle, then I'm hoping we're going to be in the playoffs. And just to add, Dom Telford scored 3 in his last 4, I believe. And we've got young Aqua, who terrifies everybody with his upper body strength and his movement, and wants them to gel. And we've got the other forwards all chipping in. I think we're in a very, very strong position.
Because
you've probably heard enough from me now. So,
did you get Crowley?
We did, yeah.
Cheers for coming, Michael, and hope you enjoy managing your football team over there / soccer team over there.
Soccer, man, soccer.
How's your soccer team getting on over there, bud? Are they doing well?
I've only lost one.
Oh, we need you to become a coach at City.
There you go. I'll just go to Barrow instead, though.
Yeah, go to Barrow. Cheers, Michael. Have a good
Bye,
one.
boys. Don't worry, you've got a good manager. You'll be all right. See you later, guys.
Thanks for coming, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Diane or Matt, have you got any thoughts?
No, but all I wanted to do to Telford was get a pair of scissors and cut his ponytail.
I don't rate Telford, if I'm honest. I didn't see lots of him that cries out he's a decent player. I know he scored and stuff, and he didn't really do it at Crawley either. He had that one good season where he got a few goals.
Yeah.
I think we're, Graham Alexander mentioned when he first joined, we are a bloated squad, and I thought that Sparks answered that really well as to why we're not leaner and meaner as we first wanted, because of some of the injuries that we got. But people will leave us in January. I think another couple of weeks of training. I think, Ryan Tulloch, Wilson, will be crying out for one of those wing places. I'm not an Osadabi fan. I think he's probably a really good player to have in the squad and around the building, because you see how much he's involved, and all the players, kind of love him, and the banter and smiles on his face. But I don't think he's no Kyle Reid, is he? He's no Mark Marshall. Do you know what I mean? I think we're crying out for proper wingers, and at 4-4-2, I think Tulloch, Wilson, and Poynton on the other side will work. I think Jake Young will come back in January. We've got Verdane Oliver to come back now. That's 4 strikers then in the building in January. I would let Afoka go back. I'd let Tompkinson go back. I'd let. I'm not a fan of Okikoki, if I'm honest, either. So I think we will be probably leaner in January, and then add a couple of Graham Alexander's own players as well. And I'm crying out for Verdane Oliver to come back and get fit, simply because I think Cook again looks uninterested.
Yeah, he looked poor today, didn't he, Cookie?
Yeah. You know,
I know he tried to win a couple of headers, but
he got bullied by Tanavan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think he needs dropping.
Yeah, but we don't have anybody else to drop him with until Oliver comes back, and that's his problem, right? We've literally got him and Smith in the building, or Derbyshire. But yeah, for me, Cook he looks like he just can't be bothered. He doesn't look this lean, hungry, goal machine. If the ball doesn't come to him and on a sixpence, he's not interested. But
have you got any last thoughts, Diane, love?
No, not really. But the fans were turning against Derby in the Cop today. He had a bit of an alteration with one of them at the end of the match.
Oh wow!
Which I saw.
Oh
yeah.
wow! What happened there, Diane? Can you?
There were some fans doing the V fingers at them and swearing at him, and one of the fans, he was doing it, and Derby was coming over to him. Gilead managed to get him away from him. That's what happens when you sit in Cop,
Bloody hell! So, do you reckon? Were it something like the fans said then to get him a bit irate? Do you reckon, or
yes,
was it just,
I think it
pissed
was.
off that he lost?
No, I think it were the fans. Definitely.
So
it's all right. I'm in car at way home, and I've just been told that he's got an ego.
Michael, can you still hear us? Have you got any more last thoughts on your team? If you still can hear us, bud, or is he still there, Michael? Or have you gone, bud? I think he's gone. Matt, any last words?
No, just roll on Notts County.
Stan, any last words, bud?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, just as Sunday was saying, with regards to options, because obviously we do need Oliver to sort of come back to kind of offer something different to Cook. When you've got Patterson to come back, and obviously Jake Young, and obviously Ryan East as well. So I don't know how these players will fit into an Alexander side, but for me, you've got potentially a midfield sort of combo of any of these players. You've got Kev McDonald, you've got Jamie Walker playing deeper. Obviously, he had to do that because of what went on in the game. But then you've got Ryan East, you've got Gilead, you've got Patterson in there, and so I would be interested to see all players being fit, how they fit in, and if they do fit in, and if they are in Alexander's plans. So see what he's got to say, in his post-match today, and see how long it takes him to kind of get an idea for the actual squad itself. So it will be interesting. But I think on the Cook thing, I think he's looked overweight since pre-season himself. He last summer he came back so much leaner and meaner, to use the Ryan Sparks sort of quote, which I don't think he's going to live down, and in that respect. So yeah, very, very interesting. Interesting also as well that we could have been 1-1. Smith could have got 2 today, couldn't he? Kind of missed that. Although the keeper's made a good save either side, and the keeper's not getting anywhere near it. So, in that respect, and when he did score, that was the touch of a man who'd missed a sitter 10, 15 minutes earlier. So, but it's good for him to get on the score sheet. So, yeah, we'll see. And actually, one last thing. Interesting to see Derbyshire come on and then being in the squad, because for me, he'd look, prior to sort of being on the bench on the management team, he'd look like his legs had gone a little bit, similar with Smallwood. So, yeah, very interesting indeed.
Okay. Is anybody else got anything they want to say? Diane, love, you got all to say?
No, I'm just about to get inside now. I was in my mate's house, he gives me a lift home.
Happy days.
Oh, yes.
Right. It's that time again. So, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thanks for listening. Also, this will be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and YouTube later on. Also, if you want to come and join us on the Bradford City Up the Chickens on Facebook, and also that's the name of the podcast. Also, the Braceodge on YouTube. Thank you for listening.